in the men's room.
No. That's you get one of those. Excuse me, sir, in the hat. That's your last one. If otherwise, we're going to ask you to leave, okay? So, John, are you here? If anybody sees John, bring him around and we'll come back to him. Is there anybody looking to run for John's seat? There are a couple of names that we've heard out of Marathon.
You gonna take me?
No. Sit down. This is a private event. If you stand up again, you're gone. John, thank you. I just want you to talk. Bail me out of this.
What am I, first?
If you were here listening, you were here first.
I was out talking to people, you know. All right, so, it's been an interesting time for me on the school board.
That's right.
I ran the first time. I used to go to school board meetings, and I used to complain that this was the highest funded district in the state of Florida, and the teachers weren't the highest paid, and that's what I ran on. You know, the teachers should be the highest paid teachers in the state of Florida. You're the highest funded, and what are you doing with the money? So, I'll tell you, we did. Eventually, I ran, I got elected, and we did make the teachers the highest paid in the state of Florida, and I was very thankful for that. There was a short time during my span where we lost that during the recession, and we had it, but we're back up to it. We're the highest paid again, as we should be. I mean, it's just facts. So anyway, so then in my first term, unfortunately, we had a real major scandal. Okay, and any of those that were around here at that time know that I was a leader in going after and trying to clean it up. One thing that happened, unfortunately, the governor at that time put in a new superintendent. The superintendent was elected, and he removed the elected superintendent and put in a new one. And it seemed that he was more interested in moving past than in cleaning it up and getting rid of all those that were involved. So, unfortunately, we didn't clean it as much as we should have, at least as much as I wanted to. And then what happened, being in business, I was in business in New York City for many years, and you could see the signs of a recession coming. And, and these are all on the school board. You can see them on the old school board agendas. I brought forth methodology of how we could get ahead of the recession and how we could reduce through attrition, not get caught, where we had to lay off people. And the superintendent at the time said, John, taxes will never go down. We'll always have money. And, of course, that didn't turn out. And turned out we wound up having to do all the things that I said. What? Kicking me out? Oh, I didn't know. You didn't tell me that. Well, anyway, but one thing I got to tell you what is very good right now, we're in the school district in a very good condition, and what we're doing that I'm extremely proud of, we're rebuilding PKS in the Upper Keys. We're going to break ground on Gerald Adams within a month, and then we're going to start Switlick in Marathon. So we're going to rebuild all the schools. Thank you.
Thanks, John. Get out. It's always so much fun. Okay, that's school board. Now, we have heard rumors that John may have opponents. Is there anybody looking to run against or run for the seat John currently holds that's here tonight? All right, well, we'll move along. The other seat up this year will be Ron Martin's seat that's in the Upper Keys. And is there anybody here looking to run for that? I think that may be a work in progress, so it's probably worth paying attention to that seat from what little scuttlebutt I've heard tonight. We're going to move down the list. Our first surprise of the evening, Carlos Curbelo. Carlos is in Washington right now, but we have an opponent, or a possible opponent for him, in Gene Carlo. Gene Carlo, come on. Here you go. About 2 minutes.
Well, I wrote a speech, as you see. I have great handwriting. But my name is John Carlo Espinosa. Hello. I'm from Key West, Florida. Grew up here, been here all my life, and I'm happy to be in front of you guys. Now, I understand that the Florida Keys has never had a congressional representative, right? And that is why I figure, since I'm from Miami, I'm from Key West, I feel at home in both places, that this is probably the place where I might throw myself in. So, a little bit more about me. Basically, I grew up here. I just became a citizen of this country a year and a half ago. I've always had a little bit of political awareness throughout my life, but I never felt that I could represent it because of my status. So now that I am, I'm pretty much going all in. So I grew up in a generation that basically we spent most of our adult lives after the downfall of the economy in 2006. And that has led us to wonder and ask why. Why, in the wealthiest country in the history of the world, are people, when they get sick and they're not extremely wealthy, why are they having to fundraise and beg on the streets just to be healthy? Why, in this land of the free, do we have the highest incarceration rate in the world? Why, in this land of personal responsibility, are we, the taxpayers, having to bail out the biggest banks in the country? And these banks have done more harm, at least in my opinion, to the economy than any overreaching regulation has in the past 20 years. And yes, those do exist. I do believe in those. So, I've been called an idealist in the past. Well, I have one big ideal that I really believe in. And I believe that we should start electing representatives up at the top of the government that really represent all of us working people, small businesses, more than the mega corporation interest. There are issues that are existing in this country, and they're not getting solved because they keep swinging from left to right. We all know left and right. So things are not getting passed. Things that have to do with our well-being, our health, our economy. They are not passing. They are not getting attention because... Wrap it up? All right. It's time to wrap up, but if you want to hear more, talk to me personally. Back to Todd. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you, Carlo. I've known Jim Cullo since he was a young man, and I think we're going to hear a lot more from him. All right.
Is the sheriff here?
Hi, Tanner. We're making a picture of Tanner in the back for later on. So, actually, that reminds me. Carol is putting us on Facebook Live. In the past, we've webcast on FloridaKeys.com, and because this was kind of a different event, we wanted to try something new and current. So please, any of you on Facebook, tag yourselves, tag people in the audience, tag Tanner, and we'll continue the evening. Let's move to the City Commission. Sam Kaufman is the guy running around the Sam Kaufman sign. Oh, here he is. He's easy to recognize. Sam? 1 minute, 50 seconds. That will get us closer to 2 minutes. I can't flip your sign.
Okay. Thank you all for being here. I got to tell you, I really enjoy being on the City Commission. Everybody knows that, right? You can tell? You can kind of tell, right? So I really would like to do another term with your support. I have an open door policy. I love to talk to people. If you have any questions about the city, if you have any questions about how I vote on something, if you have any questions about how things could be improved in the city, I have my business cards here, my cell phone's on the card. Call me, let's meet, let's talk right after this. And if you're thinking about, for the first time, running for office, I feel like I just had my last campaign party like a year ago. And it was a year ago. But that is, I know it's a big thing to do, so if you are thinking about it and it's your first time and you're a little scared about it or you're a little worried about it, talk to me, talk to others. I'll share with you my experience, what I know. But we need to have more people running for positions. And we need to have the best of us represent us in all of the categories. So seeing a young person like Giancarlo up here, that's a good thing. And we should see more of that. So that being said, I'm all in for 2018. I still have all of my signs in the shed. We're ready to go. If anyone wants a sign, you can have one. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Sam. Oh, Ollie. Sam's district? Oh, well, I think Ollie would like to talk to everybody.
Hello, my name is Oliver Kofoid. I ran for mosquito control the last 2 runs. Never doubt what little people can do to get accomplished. Hard work. We defeated the mosquitoes in Key Haven. No money, boots on the ground. Anyway, I'm in District 2. My company, I run the wastewater treatment plant, is probably not going to let me run for this district. Let me just say we are happy with the commissioner we have in District 2. We all care about District 2. I care a lot. You know, we go out and we do a lot. We pick up the neighborhood, the trash and everything. Our number 1, Key West, quality of life. I hear this everywhere, quality of life. We have people leaving because of the quality of life, because of the cost of living, because you have to work 3 jobs. I also echo Sam's remark about getting our younger people to run. I mean, we need new voices. You know, if Sam doesn't have an opponent and my company says yes, it may be my one and only chance to stick it to a lawyer. So I want to thank Hometown, and I want to thank Sarita and everyone here coming out to listen to all the campaigners. So thank you. Thank you, Todd.
All right, thanks, Ollie. So you all thought tonight would be boring. So, I should point out the sound, and she's been with us for, I think, over 12 years. But if you didn't love Kelly Friend for her great sound system, Audio Video in Paradise, well, while all your backs returned, Kelly took it upon herself to escort Tanner down the beach. It's hard to get friends like that. Let's see, the other city commission seats. I did not see Richard Payne or Margaret Romero here. Are either of them Margaret or Richard? Is there anybody looking to run for either of their seats? All right, we will move on from city commission. Let's move on to, excuse me a second. Let's go to county commission. George Nugent is the incumbent in District 2, and he's made it fairly clear that he's not going to run again. And so I would expect that will be a pretty big race. Open seats tend to generate a lot of attention. We have at least 2 people here tonight. The first one would be Chuck Weitzel. See Chuck right here? Chuck, tell us a little bit about yourself, why you want to run, and why you'd be good.
First and foremost, I want to say my name is Chuck Weitzel. I'm a local CPA. I want to thank all of my friends that are out here tonight to support me. I haven't had a chance to meet all of you yet, but I'll tell you a little bit about myself. I've been a resident of the Florida Keys full-time since 1995, where I've been a CPA down here, and I love it. I'm going to tell you straight up, I've got the best job in the world. I'm out at Safe Harbor Marina, where the Hogfish Bar and Grill is. In addition to being a CPA, I'm a 100-ton captain. I've got Patty now in SSI instructor status. I love being down here in, on, or under the water. The reason I want to run for county commissioners, I really do believe that my father was right when he said I can make a difference. My dad spent 30 years in the United States Army. We traveled around the world extensively. I grew up in Europe a lot. Graduated high school in Stuttgart, Germany. Both my younger sisters were born in Italy. I've seen the world. When I hit Key West, I said, this is where I want to be. I wasn't born and raised here, but I tell everybody, by God, I belong here. All right, thank you very much.
Thank you, Chuck. Another announced interested person is Chuck Likas. Come on up, Chuck.
All right, Chuck.
Thank you, Todd. And thank Hometown, and I thank also Salute for hosting, and thank you all for coming out. My name's Chuck Lysis, and I am seriously considering running for District 2 County Commissioner. I see a lot of familiar faces. I run the Take Stock in Children program currently, which is a fantastic program. And I see a lot of mentors, and thank you for mentoring if you're mentoring, and thank you for supporting our program. I'm very interested in running for County Commissioner because I love the Florida Keys. My partner of 32 years, and I moved down here 7 years ago full-time. We've been property owners for about 15 years now in the Lower Keys. I'm very impressed with what we have done as a county, but there's still a lot of work to do here in Monroe County. A lot of issues impacting us, you name it, affordable housing, insurance, the environment. As president of SPOA, the Sugarloaf Shores Property Owners Association, we've been working hard on our environment and our water quality within our area at mile marker 17. And we even worked really hard with Florida Keys Aqueduct Authority in the county to make sure that they dug a deep well. So we have now a deep well at Sugarloaf for the Petro region, as opposed to the 4 shallow wells. And we worked hard, my board and I worked very hard on that, and we have other issues that we're working on currently. So I think I'm really interested in stepping up and being a part of this process. I love the community, love you guys, and I love traveling up and down the Keys, and hopefully when I do make the announcement, I will have your support. So Chuck Lysis, County Commissioner, District 2. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Chuck. Is there anybody else here looking to or interested in District 2? There are some other names going around there. We have David Rice is up this year. David, would you like to come speak a little? There you go.
Thank you. I really first just want to thank all of you, because I think most of you know I really enjoyed being your county commissioner. The campaigns, not so much, but the job is one that gives me a great deal of satisfaction. I've been in the Keys, seems like forever, but Mary and I moved here in 1973. That's now, I hate to say, 45 years. And my, how the Keys have changed. A lot of us know that. The problems that we're dealing with today, not just in the county, but cities working with the counties. And we just had a meeting this week that involved all the cities and the county dealing with the District 6 Superintendent of Transportation, dealing with some of our frustrations with our transportation and traffic problems. That really was a great experience, and I think it exemplified one of the reasons that I would like to serve at least one more term. And that is, we're not through. We'll never be through, of course. But the problems are evolving in the Keys. We all know the need for affordable housing. Now we're seeing traffic becoming a consideration for whether we should place affordable housing in specific locations. We all know that the traffic is related to our tourism, and we know that our tourism controls our economy. There you have 4 kingpins around which we have to plan our future. I'd like to be a part of that, and with your help, I will be. David Rice.
Thank you, David. Is there anybody here looking to run for David's seat? All right. I forgot one of our city commission interested parties. Sonny, could you want to come on up? And while Sonny's doing this, Dennis, would you, Dennis Ward, make your way to the front. All right, Sonny. Here you go.
Hi everybody, it's nice to be here. My name is Sonny Andracchio. I'm originally from downtown Boston Harbor. I served in the United States Army Reserve. I went to Nantucket after that. I was a restaurateur in a home restoration business. Came to Key West in 1985. Liked it. Spent a lot of winters here. Summers in Nantucket. And then in 1998, I got introduced to Schooner America. Beautiful schooner, fell in love with it, became the general manager, and for the last 17 years, I've been the general manager of Schooner America, now Schooner America 2.0. 1992, Hurricane Andrew, I worked with the Unitarian Church to go up to Homestead in Florida City and did $3 million worth of work for nothing to help Mexican-American farm workers get back in their homes. I'd like to show interest in running for city commissioner. I love Key West. I've been here year-round now, 17 years. And I will always vote for the interest of all the people, most of the people as a whole. I love Key West. I love the people. And it's great to be here. And did I leave anything else? Thank you very much.
What district?
He's not sure yet. And that's okay. Again, our rules are loose tonight, and we're trying to encourage people to run. So
Good.
we'll get those little details worked out. Since Dennis Ward seems a little shy tonight, which is sort of his way, I want to bring Charlie Bradford up. And Charlie's going to explain to us, we have a unique thing in that currently Keys Energy is our electric service provider. I can't talk tonight. Provides service from Key West to the 7 Mile Bridge. Yet all the commissioners live in Key West. So the people who live in Lower Keys are sort of unrepresented. So Charlie and his board are looking to change that. So I'm going to let Charlie explain. Even though Charlie's up this year, his seat won't be the Lower Keys. So I think we can do this without a problem. So Charlie, take it over.
Thank you very much. My name is Charlie Bradford, and Todd has asked me to come and talk about what we voted on last year, and that was to create 2 seats for the Lower Keys. We currently have 5 members that are within the city of Key West. Hello? They're within the city of Key West. And we took 2 seats and gave those to the Lower Keys to have them represent everything from the north end of the 7 Mile Bridge to Key West. My big thing would be that we've got seats. Can I just sit on your lap here? My big thing would be that the way that we voted this is to allow 40% of the seats to be new people to the board. And since we do provide all the electricity to the Lower Keys, I think it's important that you keep people on the board that know what's going on with Keys Energy. As it is now, we don't know who's going to run 575 days from now, who's going to run for the 3 seats that come available. But I'd like you to think that at least keep some of the incumbents. There won't really be incumbent seats, but keep as many people that are currently on the board coming back to the board, because you're going to have 2 new people on there anyway. And Keys Energy deals with some real serious things that provide energy to us, and that the small cell towers that the county knows about that they're having to deal with, and we've had to deal with them. Into the mic. Thank you. And I think that it's important that you know what's going on, and I hope that you'll vote for me if I run. I don't know what I'm going to have for breakfast tomorrow, but I guess I'm going to know that I'm going to run 500 days from now. So thank you very much, and my name is Charlie Bradford.
Thank you, Charlie. Well, Charlie mentioned people running for those Lower Keys seats, and when he says 575 days, it seems like a long time. I'm going to bring up Greg Daniels. Greg Daniels has expressed some interest in running for the Lower Keys Energy seat, which is a first. So, Greg, introduce yourself.
Hello, everyone. My name is Greg Daniels. I arrived here in Key West in 1990 as a young 18-year-old impressionable man, and I'm still here. I fell in love with Keys. I fell in love with Key West. I have since moved up to Big Coppet in 1996, and my lovely wife and I have a home there. We enjoy the Keys, and one of the happiest things I saw was when the board did vote to include and be inclusive of the rest of the Lower Keys. I currently serve, and I'm on my 2nd term as a advisory to the board on the committee, Keys Energy Committee. My 2nd term will be ending shortly. And one of the biggest questions I received was, as part of that advisory committee from people like you, was why can't people in Lower Keys vote on board members? The board changed that. You can vote on that. A little bit about myself also. I am a part-time boat captain, and I also am a construction coordinator for Comcast. Don't throw anything. Through that job with Comcast, I worked hand in hand with the engineering department at Keys Energy and also Florida Keys Electric Co-op. I think I am in a very unique position from the outside in my dealings with the employees of Keys Energy that I can kind of bridge that gap between management and the employees, and also bring some changes. And I'll go into changes that I think need to be made later on. But please, if you have any questions or concerns about Keys Energy, please feel free to ask me in my advisory board member position. Or if you have any concerns about representation for the Lower Keys, please let me know. Thanks again. Vote Greg Daniels.
Thank you, Greg. And someone else that's expressed some interest in the Lower Keys spot is a fairly shy individual, not real well known in the Lower Keys, but Walt Dobrinsky. Come on up, Walt. See if you can struggle through this.
Thanks, Todd. Thanks for the entire program you're putting on here. This is a great chance for us non-politicians to introduce ourselves. The reason I'm running for the board is I've got 40 years experience in the electric utility industry, and I believe I can contribute something of value. I'm an electrical engineer, worked for a large utility for 10 years in a number of management positions, left, went to the Wharton School, and for the last 30 years, I've been a management consultant to electric utilities. I've worked for over 100 companies, provided advice to over 24 board of directors. I've done operational audits. I've worked on construction of power plants, so on and so forth. So I live in Cudjoe Key. I'm currently the president of Vantage Energy Consulting. We consult throughout North America, small cities, large utilities, wherever. And I want to be able to give something back. I'm at the point in my career where I'm winding down. I think I can contribute, and I hope you support me in the future. Thank you.
Thank you, Walt. Is there anybody else looking to run or thinking about the Lower Keys Energy seat? We're going to move on to our final race, and I assume this one is going to be a big race this year. The mayor's race is going to be open, which hasn't happened for a very long time. And I think for the first time ever, it's termed out. Our current mayor is Craig Cates, and Craig's going to speak to us a little bit. Come on, you don't get to say no. Come on. Yes, we will make you do this a couple more times. I remember Craig's first time here was when the naked girl rode her bike out. That was a long time ago. And yes, Sloan, you were partly responsible for that.
Yes. I want to make an announcement. The city attorney found a way I could run one more time. No. I thought I'd lie with things up there. But anyway, Todd asked me to come up here and talk a little bit about running for office because I'm a prime example about somebody who's never ran before and just wanted to be involved, and I'd never run for politics, although my mother was a commissioner back in the 80s. So I came out and ran, and I was definitely out of my comfort zone. Definitely, I remember the first time here, my knees were shaking. Good thing I was behind the podium because you couldn't see. But anyway, and I've become more comfortable at it. But what I want to do is get more people to come out and get involved. It's very important. We got some great commissioners that we're never politicians for, and I don't consider myself a politician either. I consider this community service, and it's no career because, believe me, you can't live off of what we get paid. So, that being said, we do it for community service, whether you agree with us or not. We all got different ideas, we got different opinions, and we don't always agree, but that's the process, and that's the way it should be. And at the end of the day, when we vote on it, we move on. That is the law, or that's a resolution, or that's an ordinance, or whatever it ends up being. Then we move on to the next issue and try to solve it. So, and then we work together, solve the next issue, and not hold hard feelings or grudges and personal attacks. Sometimes it gets a little difficult, but this is a great community to live in, and it's a loving community, and we work well together. So I just want to encourage more people to come out, get involved, and help make our community better.
Thank you, Craig. We already know of a number of people that are looking to run for this seat. Two men, Wayne Coulter and Randy Becker, both apologize for not being able to be here, but they have expressed interest in running. I'll just leave it at that. I also want to recognize that Terry Johnson is in the audience, and she said that I could recognize her being in the audience. Jimmy Weekly, I think, is also in the audience, and he would like to come up and talk.
Thank you. You know, I've really been fortunate. I've been able to represent and serve this community as commissioner for 20 years, plus the term that I'm in now, but also as mayor for 6 years. And I feel so fortunate to be able to do that. It has meant so much to me in representing the citizens of Key West. And I know that others are looking to run for mayor since this is an open seat. And what I want to do tonight is to announce that I am not, in no way or form, going to be running for mayor of the city of Key West. I wanted to give others that may be sitting on the sidelines that thinking about running to know that I am not. There are many rumors going around that I am a candidate, and I wanted to kill that rumor right off the bat because I don't want to have to deal with a rumor for the next year. So I wish whoever does run, and I hope there's a number of people that come forward to run because with good leadership skills, because as the mayor said, this is a fabulous community. We work together for the common good of everyone. So with that, thank you, and thank you for the opportunity of the number of years. When I finish this term, it'll be around 32 years of being able to represent this wonderful city that raised me, and I was able to give back. So thank you all very much.
Thank you, Jimmy. That actually was a surprise. I want to bring up a fellow I met, or two men I've met tonight. The first is Dave Gonzalez. Dave, come on up. Everybody remember, this is a big deal to run for mayor your first time. So, Dave, tell us about yourself.
Sam Hoffman interviewed new people in politics, so here I am. My name is Dave Gonzalez, and I'm a third-generation conch. I grew up here, went to school here. I left here as a young man when I was 21. Circled the planet twice. I worked for the Navy for about 20 years and Lloyd's of London for about 10 years. I returned in 2001 back to my home, and I'm here to stay. Tell you a little funny story. I was up visiting my uncle. Some of you know him. He's called Mono Casas. He was a pitcher on the 1958 baseball team. And I inherited my grandfather's house in August. I said, well, I assume you're going to cash that out and move up here to the Villages with us, right? I met more conchs at the Villages than I met in Key West. And I said, why would I do that? He goes, because you can't slow down what's going to happen to Key West. Well, you can't stop it. You can only slow it down. I said, no, I'm going to renovate my grandfather's house. I'm going to live in it. One person can't stop it or change Key West, but a mayor can. So, here I am, and today I'd like to announce my interest in the candidacy for the 2018 mayoral seat election for the city of Key West. As a native conch and a businessman, I now work as the executive director at the Ernest Hemingway Home. I see thousands of tourists a day come in. But I also worked here as a real estate agent for a couple of years. So I've seen our commerce, everything from a 99-cent souvenir to a $3 million home. That's our double-edged sword here. We have to have income, but the tourism industry, it needs to forge with us and meld into our Key West lifestyle. We must protect our heritage too. I have a unique vantage point to view these issues from, and I'm very lucky about that. As a loyal son of the island and a parent of 3 children who will, I hope, be able to raise my grandchildren here, I have a deep and abiding interest in the natural and cultural heritage and legacy of Key West. There are many issues to be addressed: public school performance, highway safety issues. We all know about the North Roosevelt crosswalks, and this is a must fix for any and every civic leader. Affordable housing, the protection of our natural resources. The role of a mayor is to be a strategic leader. I can provide that for Key West. Many of you already know me, my lovely wife, my children, maybe my aunts, my uncles, or my great-grandfather. I look forward to getting to know more of you as this election cycle progresses and doing all we can do together to make good decisions for Key West. My name is Dave Gonzalez, and my wife approves of this announcement.
Thank you, Dave, and thank you, Mrs. Gonzalez. We have one more person, as far as I know, to come up tonight. But I also wanted to acknowledge another person in the audience, Steve Smith, former Mosquito Control Commissioner, who's currently looking for something to do. Not that there's any rumors. So, we're not here to spread rumors tonight. Well, actually, yeah. Monroe Holloway. I met him earlier, and he wants to speak. Monroe, you were probably batting cleanup for us, so bring it home.
Okay, hello everyone. My name is Monroe Holloway, and I'm considering a run for mayor of Key West, Florida. I'd like to thank the Hometown PAC for offering this event, and just say that I'm very, very happy to be a part of this community again. I'm a millennial, okay, and a lot of the things that are going on in our community affect us from the service industry side. A lot of my community, a lot of the people that are struggling right now are having a very difficult time with regards to wages. They're having a very difficult time with regards to housing. They're having a difficult time with regards to taking care of the child care, the services that they need in order to make sure that they're in a sustainable economic environment. What we want to do in this community, and what I'd like to do if I were to ever run as mayor, is to secure the economic stability of all of the millennials and the youth that are coming up and are going to make this city the great city that I know it to be. I was born and raised here, and from a little kid, I remember playing on this pier right here, and you know, our families and our community has always been one to look out for one another. And what we want to be able to do is make sure that that's continued into the future. In order to make sure that's continued, we want to make sure that we're focusing on the key drivers that affect this economy, that affect our community, that affect the people that are going to make this community the beacon of the one human family that we expect it to be. Now, to a lot of people that are here right now, working in this restaurant, they don't see the one human family that we speak so often of. They don't see the livable circumstances that a lot of us are capable of taking advantage of. And what I'd like to do is make sure that that vision, that future, and that promise is gifted and given to those who earn it, those who've worked for it. A lot of times we, in the service industry, we wear it as a chip of honor to have survived in Key West, Florida for X amount of years. I mean, it's a real thing. It's a badge of honor. And when we take it away from here, we take that badge of honor with us. But too often, too many are taking it with them. We don't have a sustainable community when folks are leaving every single week. I'm losing friends, you know, and it doesn't really hit you until one of your best friends has to go. And it doesn't really hit you until you're looking at your own finances and wondering if you're going to survive. And that's true for a millennial or a senior citizen. And if I were to ever be running for mayor, I would definitely look to make sure that our community is the one human family that we purport it to be. Thank you very much.
Nice job. And one thing it's hard not to notice is that except for Max and Giancarlo, a couple faces, and myself, of course, everybody in here is old. So it's nice to see. It's nice to see these young faces here. And oh, sorry, Kathy, but it's nice to see the young faces, and hopefully, with some more participation by them, we'll even have a bigger mix in the crowd and participant-wise. But I think, is there anybody else that wants to run for anything? Please tell me you just stood up to stretch your legs. All right, everyone. Well, thank you to Salute.
I would like to explain.
No.
I'm not talking about running for office.
No, we're done.
I was blind about it.
I under.
You call me. I
No, we're done. Everybody have a great night. Read about Miss Blonde.